not good morning. I think we got the worst storm I've seen last night. Sitting around the campfire with the kids, cooking some marshmallows, and sky changed. Sounded like somebody's driving a bulldozer through the woods. And yep, here we are. Let's take a look at the damage.
That's manageable.
Right there looks like a...
That's rain cruising.
There.
Got good roots on them, and now they got some good moisture. And get themselves set up. Really wash the water away from the bulb. Top of it, someone landed. Like right here, look at this.
Yeah. Well, this farm is two different stories. Right where we're standing, the wind was just ripping through here. We see some spots where there's some hailstones that came through and ripped the leaves. The wind seems like it did the most damage, just twisting the leaves off. But yeah, the leaves are pretty important to have. So now we're evaluating to see, what the next application is of a fungicide to keep these things healthy, because this leaf being ripped open is just a gateway for pathogens to get into that onion. So these things still got a lot of growing to do. Hopefully they can regenerate those leaves and heal themselves up enough to stay healthy. It's running. It's not quite caught up yet from the storm, but it's pumping water. Looks like the panels held up to the storm pretty good and nothing's out of place. Alright, we're at the other side of the farm checking on this. This is not as good as it was on the other side of the farm. A lot more damage here. Entrance, exit. See how that goop coming out? That thing's bleeding out, trying to heal itself. These things got chopped up pretty bad. So you can see the change in the color over there and right here, from there all the way to maybe that knoll, and then around that knoll. Probably the worst of it on this whole farm. What do you think?
I'll let you know in September.
South side's worse than the north side.
Like
Holy shit.
Well, it looks like a lawnmower came through.
Holy shit, it frickin' just annihilated these things. Everything is blistered open. Every leaf. What comes out of that? There's no leaves to photosynthesize with. Everything's wide open. Have you ever seen onions that bad?
Yeah.
When?
Last time I hailed out here.
Is this usually where you'd see it?
Seems like the butthole of a weather pattern.
Frickin' trees down and barn roof missing. we're about 3 miles down the road from where we just were and barely got any rain or wind, luckily. We were really happy with our crop this year. We actually thought to ourselves without saying it out loud, but now we can say it. We are on track to have even a better year than we did last year. Now we have probably a 25 acre zero on that one farm. We're gonna ride it out, see how that looks in the next week. If they really can't just metabolize what happened and put new leaves on and try to regrow, then it's gonna be a complete loss. I'm gonna talk to the insurance company. Not really looking for a whole lot of return out of that. This is the woes of farming. You put everything you can into it, you give your crop the best shot, but sometimes there's just nothing you can do any different because there's nothing you can do about something like that. Hail, wind, and driving rain. We're on the clock with the damage that's done. Some of it we're just gonna have to evaluate it. Some of it we're just gonna have to deal with it throughout the season, and it's not gonna stop here. We're gonna have to invest more money into it to keep it healthy, and we're going to have a loss no matter what you do. Some of those onions are just gonna have quality issues, and that's gonna mess with the rest of the crop that's harvested off that field, because it's all gonna be harvested together. So here we go. This is gonna be a long one. That's what the farm looks like, and this is what the woods look like. That tree's like 100 plus years old, and it just got wadded. The root of that tree is bigger than my pickup times 2. Big mess to clean up. All right, back on the scene, the disaster scene. Rain and hail is just leaving now. Put in a claim. Spoke with our insurance company. Our level of coverage is a low level of coverage, and I will tell you why. For us to insure all of our acres for a catastrophic event like this, we'd be spending more money on a policy than we would be receiving a claim. So it's risky, it's on the farmer in these situations. Our farms are so spread out that for us to have this all happen in one spot would be next to impossible. We've got 9 different locations. For a storm that's this powerful to be that wide would be very tough, and we would have to lose 50% of our crop would have to be considered non-harvestable, and that's really a tough spot to get to because an insurance adjuster is going to see it different than the farmer. This is our livelihood. We know what hail does to a crop. We know what a windstorm does, or rain, or whatnot. But yeah, they are standing up more. They're trying to shake it off. This area right here was the most affected area. Rain's probably the most emotional one. He spends more time with these guys, you know, loving them and hugging them and kissing them and telling them that daddy loves them. But it is very tough to see this crop that was just, it was looking really good. Our stand here was beautiful, and we committed this whole farm to a specific variety that we were really excited to see it produced on as high of a level as we have here. So disappointing, gut-wrenching, all the emotions of disappointment and helplessness. My father said that he has never seen a storm this bad, and on top of that, this early. So a lot of unknowns here, not a lot of history to pull from on what to do next. Really, the options are right now, assess it. We're going to put some Bravo and Manzate on to cover these things up and see if these things will put on new leaves. After that, if they're not going to make it, then we're going to have to come out here and destroy this crop. So there's leaves still there in the center. Something like that, this is going to have a really tough time regrouping and regenerating new leaves and continuing on. That right there is a big pathway for pathogens and pests. And water, most likely what's going to happen here, they're in shock. They're going to try to put a bulb on. They're not going to be successful, and they're going to basically die right there. Disgusting.